Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, Rich and the King from the 1G crew. One God, one gang.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, YouTube
Just know I get it in. Creep you like clear. Or 50 Cent. Let me take this song in.
WWE champion.
Look, my fifth win. Sound like the sound of revenge. Sound like I'm telling you I'm counting the city.
You know how they always say, well, other than the old saying of only two things come out of Texas, everything's bigger there. And, well, unfortunately that was the case for this week's episode, but it wasn't in a good way. It was more so in a sense of disappointment. It's the effort was there, it didn't deliver. That's honestly the best way I can describe it. Now, as far as what current events go with wrestling, what a big ooh-ah shock to us all. Cena and Nikki are now saying they're back together, so now honestly, I'm just kind of feeling like, like it was like a Vince Russo idea, like, bro, we're gonna swerve them, bro. We'll have them think that you broke up, bro. It'll work, bro. You know why, bro? Trust me, I know this, because we'll have them all swerved. The reason on why this is gonna work, bro, is because nobody would ever think of this, bro. I swear, bro. Yeah. Other than that, Cody wound up teasing All In 2, possibly in New York City. Yeah, I believe he was saying the Garden, but if memory best serves, not 100% certain. It's been a little bit since I saw the clip, but honestly, I could see All In killing it in New York. Maybe not Garden, maybe not the Garden, but definitely Hammerstein. They would freaking sell out the Hammerstein ballroom like that. There's no doubt on that. But Madison Square Garden, I'm kind of hoping they were just saying that, just to blow smoke up a bunch of fans' asses, but, either way. That's pretty much it for the big current events. So, with that said, let's get into the show. Raw, Houston, Texas. Starts off... fucking damn it. It starts off with Elias. Yeah. Starts off with the smell... With the greasy, dirty-looking hipster that you just look at and you're like, here, bud, here's $1. Go get yourself a sandwich. You're probably starving. Yeah, you can't quite peg Elias's look down. He's either like this greasy, grimy hipster or this homeless guy that hangs around near the high school near my house that offers to do beer runs for the teenagers. Just can't quite grasp his look yet. Anyways, he comes out, he's doing his thing, strumming his guitar, talking about on how at Money in the Bank he's going to wind up beating Seth Rollins and be the Intercontinental Champion. Plays a little ditty, and then out comes the CrossFit Jeebus, Seth Rollins. Doesn't run right into the ring because as Seth's coming down, Elias picks up his guitar like, okay, come on, I'll crack this one on you too, bitch. Instead, Seth circles around the ring, grabs a chair, then gets in, and then they have like a little duel, like almost like Star Wars, like, and then Seth, wham, cracks it out of him, in which case, lesson learned right there, kids. Steel is mightier than wood. No, we're not doing phrasing, and yes, you can take that as an inappropriate innuendo. Anyways, he does that. Next thing you know, he proceeds to go and start doing a roll-on on Elias. Then out comes Jinder to save Elias, beat up Seth, all that. And then next thing you know, out comes Roman Reigns to go and help him. And then next thing you know, then out comes Kurt Angle, who then says, "We are going to have a tag team match, players. Holla, 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 holla." And that match is going to be right now. So, we wind up getting impromptu tag action. Elias and Jinder going against Seth and Roman. Nice little brawl at the start of the match. Seth was working as the punching bag for a bit, which, you know, it made sense when you thought about it, because, I mean, Seth was the guy who was getting his ass kicked right before Roman came out, like, you know, getting his shit stomped out of him like that. And then Roman comes out to save him. So, yeah, the tired guy is the one that's going to be more prone to being on the ass end of an ass kicking at first. Makes sense. He eventually gets a tag into Roman. Roman clears house until he becomes the punching bag, and then Seth gets a hot tag back in which case then, oh man, did Seth move like a man possessed. And, you know, I know I've been saying it since Mania, but since Seth won the Intercontinental title, it's like he's been in a whole new, like he switched gears and he went from first to like fucking third, or a horrible car analogy, I'm sorry. Like he went from 0 to 60 like that, and just, god damn, it is amazing to see that, you know? And I know some people like to think on the idea of, oh, well, he was a former world champion and now he's got the mid-card title, so, oh, that's downgrading now. No, not necessarily, because, think of this, if you're saying you're a world champion, you know, you're at the cream of the crop, you lose the title, you win a different title. You put the same kind of work that you had in the world title into that second tier title, that makes that title worth just as much, you know? I mean, best example on that, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, first ever undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. Former World Heavyweight Champion. He had the big gold belt a few times. He's more known for holding the Intercontinental title than anything. And, you know, people consider him one of the best, obviously outside of ring work, but one of the best Intercontinental champs out there, you know. So, what the hell does that tell you? So, yeah. Anyways, like I said, Roman, he winds up getting the hot tag. Roman tags in Seth. Seth gets the hot tag. He starts clearing house. Next thing you know, Seth winds up eventually at one point, you know, getting a chair, trying to go, and just like he's running on emotions. And so I don't know what the hell that was, but he gets it in. It gets in there. Next thing you know, Elias kicks him and then DDTs him on top of the chair in front of the ref, and the ref doesn't call for a bell whatsoever. And I know some people were making the argument on the Twitter that, oh well, since the chair was introduced and Elias wasn't aware, that's why the ref was okay with not calling it. That makes sense. Yeah, but you know, I'm sorry, but all I could think was in the back, Vince just taking off his glasses, removing his headset, and then just yelling, "God fucking damn it, pal! Who the fuck told him he should've? Who the fuck said he shouldn't call for the bell? I want their ass here now. I want them now. Get him the fuck back here. I'm gonna fucking rip his head off and shit down his neck." At least that's on how I like to picture how it went. But yeah, Elias does the DDT on top of the chair. Seth sells that DDT beautifully. Then gets hit with the drift away. So yeah, Elias and Jinder win. So yeah, that's that. Next up, we get the piss break of the night, folks. Hey, piss break. Okay, We got Curt Hawkins, who's now one match away from being 0-200, versus a local town jobber. And Hawkins said if he wins, he's going to give everyone in the arena that night free tacos, which, if any politician ever wants to secure votes, that is the best way to do it. Forget making political promises. Forget about talking about lowering taxes, all that jazz. Just tell everyone, you get free tacos, you vote for me. You know? And who doesn't want a free taco? Seriously. You know? Now, it was very much so what it was. It was the piss break, but the ending does not come as you would expect. No, no. Instead, I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but Baron Corbin came out to save the day, actually attacked the jobber, and then threw Hawkins on top of the tacos, and kind of left him looking like me after I found the Mexican all-you-can-eat buffet. Ugh, not a pretty sight. So yeah. Anyways, after that, Corbin winds up doing a segment in Curt's office, reading letters he got from Stephanie saying that Corbin was in Curt's office reading a letter saying he got from Stephanie saying that due to multiple indecent actions happening on the show, Baron Corbin is now the official constable of Monday Night Raw. So, yeah. Now he's basically ripping off Steve Austin when he was the sheriff. Now he just needs a little badge, drive around on an ATV, you know, and just start flipping people the bird. Yep. And then Corbin will pretty much be full on doing gimmick infringement. But yeah, there's that. Next up, we got women's action. Nia Jax versus Natayla. Ronda Rousey on commentary, and listen, I am really happy that Ronda Rousey is achieving her dream and getting to be a wrestler and wrestle in WWE and all, but for the love of God, somebody give this girl some acting classes. I mean, seriously, they had a freaking actor in the Performance Center during that time when Roman had to get a hysterectomy surgery and he was out on the shelf for a month. And that guy wound up turning Roman around with his promos like that. Get that freaking guy to work on Ronda. Seriously, because honestly, Ronda just sounds so monotone. She just sounds so monotone like this. It almost makes the Bella Twins, who sound like a very bland, monotone phone sex operator, seem, you know, sound interesting. Just, yeah. Seriously, that girl needs some acting lessons. You know? And I mean more acting lessons than what she got for Expendables 3. Now, as far as the match between Nia and Natayla, obviously it was what it was. Nia Jax playing the power game. Natayla, she was doing quick grappling moves, trying to wear Nia down as best she could here and there, which, okay, that works, you know. And match came to an end when Natayla went and had Nia down on the sitting position, did the hop over, stomp over her to go and do the running drop kick, hit the end of the rope, and then next thing you know, like tweaking her knee, which case then Nia capitalized, scooped her up, Samoan drop, 1, 2, 3, that was it. And then they have the camera do an extreme close-up showing for the medical injury, which, I don't know. And again, yes, obviously we know wrestling is a work, but I'm saying if you're looking for a sense of realism, I'm just not following on how when legitimate injuries happen, like case in point when Zack Ryder hurt his knee a year ago, you didn't have the cameras do those extreme up-close zoom-ins on him, you know, as he was getting hobbled to the back. Whereas with Natalya, which was selling to the extent to where it was the same way, you were having the extreme close-ups on just, you know? But yeah. Next up, we get Braun Strowman versus Bobby Roode, in which case, Nomine Patri Filii Spiritus Sancti, Mr. Roode, may God be with you, and please do not die. Yeah, that didn't go well. Braun pretty much mutilated him, playing very much so again to the power game. And one thing though that did kind of confuse me at one point was when Bobby was starting to mount a small little bit of a comeback, he went under the ring, grabbed a ladder, rigged it between the ring post and the security barricade like it was a gate, and then got out and then taunted Braun to go and do that running charge of his around the ring to go and bulldoze, like that running bulldozer thing he does, and then Braun circles around and then gets to the ladder and then beep, stops right on the dime. Bobby rolls under it, gets on the other side, and it's like, ha ha, what are you gonna do now? And you just see Braun, ah, slam it down, and then you just see Bobby fall down like, oh shit. And yeah, that pretty much led to the then death. In which case he got the power slam, 1, 2, 3. Braun got the win. So yeah, honestly, I really do think Braun Strowman is more than likely going to win this. You know, I got 3 picks: Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, and Finn Balor. Now, Braun, obvious. That's an obvious pick. You know, I mean, he's big, mean, nasty-looking bastard. I mean, who the fuck is gonna mess with this guy? You take him out, he's got that weird fucking Wolverine healing factor. He comes back a week or 2 later, twice as pissed and ready to eat your head. You know? You got Samoa Joe, who is an honest-to-God, legitimate, badass motherfucker who could rip you apart without even breaking a sweat. Finn Balor, one of possibly the biggest draws on Monday night. You know, he gets that, he could wind up doing, just like Seth, doing an unexpected cash-in on Brock, get his Universal title back, and thus leading to a match between Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor, and then Finn once again re-emerging as the Demon King and bringing out the dark evil side that he has. You know, and not only that, that match right there just screams a New Japan feel all over it, because both guys did work New Japan. I mean, Finn, founding father of Bullet Club, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champ. Brock Lesnar worked it in New Japan. One of 6 Gaijin to be IWGP Heavyweight Champion, and he won the title off of Nakamura. Sorry. Now then, that being said, next matchup we get the Tag Team Battle Royal, talking about which case the winner of this Battle Royal will then face Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt for the tag titles. And honestly, the heart was in it, but it felt like a house show match. You know, like you'll get those random little house show matches like, and now we will be having a tag team battle royale, and the winners will face the champions later tonight. You know, something like that, and it's just like, okay. I mean, the teams got introductions and got to come down, which was cool, but now, the one elimination that made my frickin' Twitter blow up was when frickin' Ziggler was eliminated, because they made the rule of if one man from the team is eliminated, the entire team is, which I don't know, that doesn't sit well with me. Honestly, I think it should be when both guys from the team are eliminated, you know, because it would have played better, you know, saying both teams are fighting and scrapping at it as best they can and all that jazz, yeah. But yeah, match came to an end with the final participants being the B team and Slater and Rhino. Not necessarily two of my personal favorites, but Now, some folks were also asking, hey, Monday Night Raw has another tag team. Where's the Authors of Pain? We want the Authors of Pain. Let me ask you this. Would you have wanted the Authors of Pain to have to go and do this and then get eliminated and lose to Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel? Because honestly, I'm perfectly content with them being missing rather than having to go and have that on them. So yeah. Next up, Trios Women Action. Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and Amber Moon going against the Riott Squad. Start. Alexa Bliss goes and starts selling a leg, and you're like, ah, and then just bam, tag slaps Sasha right on the ribs, and then rolls out and walks to the back, saying, how she can't compete. She's very badly hurt. Which now leaves it to a 3-on-2 handicap. So, yeah. Yep. Amber was, for the most part, the team punching bag. And then Sasha got the hot tag in. And fairly okay working. Her and Liv Morgan, they were doing pretty good. And then right out of nowhere, though, Bayley's music comes down, starts playing. She runs down to the corner, gets tagged, sits up on the post, and Sasha tags her. Next thing you know, Bayley hits a Bayley to belly on Morgan. 1, 2, 3, that's it. They win. Everyone's cheering and happy, and yay! And then we cut to the back with, of all people, Baron fucking Corbin having to be the voice of reason, saying, well, she wasn't part of the match, so that doesn't count. That you need to go and tell them that the decision for who won that match is going to be reversed. I'm Stephanie's eyes and ears now, in which case, let's just be thankful he's the eyes and ears and not the hair, because, last thing you want is to have her hairline, like, all the way up to here, Just saying. So yeah, now we come to the main event of the night. Finn Balor, Kevin Owens. Now before the match started, Big Show was out on the apron. Nice to see Big Show back. He's still recovering from hip surgery. And talking about hyping up the special, on how WWE does partnership work with the Special Olympics. Really good cause, good charity. If you can, please give to them. Try to myself whenever I can. Now, then, just as Big Show's done hyping up about the Special Olympics and Team Texas, then out comes Finn, and Finn, he hugs and high fives, too sweets everyone, all that. Very nice, very good. It also plays to the whole Balor clubs for everyone thing, not just saying that, with lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, which, again, everyone, the very broad spectrum, that helps establish the everyone. Now, Owens comes out then, and then get a nice little bit of a good back and forth for a start. Owens, for the most part, is leading the match. It was a good match, dug it. I mean, a lot of people were talking about, like, oh, never forget, these two had a match back in Japan, and that's where Finn won the NXT title. Yeah, we get that. We know that. But right now, let's focus on this match. It was a fairly decent match, you know. Fairly decent match for what it was, you know. Match wound up coming to an end. Ref called for a DQ because Owens had Balor up in a tree of woe and just kept kicking at him. Owens did not adhere to the ref's 5 count. Ref rang the bell, which then proceeded to Owens, then beating up Balor even more, then getting a ladder, climbing up, looking like he was going to go and do a frog splash off of it, all the way from the top. No, I'm going to come down a few pegs. No, I'm going to come down a little bit more, and as he's climbing down, then Balor, boom, 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 starts working on him, takes him down, then climbs up, coup de grace on him, gets back up, holds the briefcase up high, and 2 cents on this. Yes, the ending to the match may have been shitty. However, what was the post-match payoff? Seeing Finn Balor holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. You know, leading a lot to speculate, a lot to think about. You know, like, Vince could be looking like, God damn, I could see. What if that kid did win? You know? And again, that plays to it. And not only that, that's going to keep the internet fans happy and screaming all week. You know? It's going to keep the internet fanboys happy and screaming all week. So, yeah. Anyways, that is it for this week's show.
Let me figure it out.
So, like on normal, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. You also have another account, Tim_Vicious. I'm also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you're gonna find me on that Facebook gimmick, let me know you found me on there from here or on my Twitter at Tim Ash, at Tim Vicious. That way I don't think you got your creep John going. Also, folks, do not forget to follow all of these cool ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, make sure you check out Axel's newest project, Brit Wrestling Review. They talk about British and European wrestling. Kenny Killer, my 2 good brothers. I am Danny Sunday, and Alva Ben, who is my executive producer for this show. He did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure you check it out. It's out there on iTunes, Spotify, and such details down below. Also, make sure you hit Ollie up for one of these Ollie Rewind shirts. Show the man some love and support. Cranky Grandpa, Aaron_DeVore, and Dazzy, MWP. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me.